Bang!
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to 2022.
2022, January 3rd, the first daily huddle in 2 weeks, the first one of the new year. And man, I'm like, clicking the mic, like, does this thing work? Do I still know how to do this? Is this setup correct? Like, what's happening here?
I said this thing in Jay. I go, what? I have to do this, then I have to do that. It's amazing what 2 weeks will do. It's like sort of, okay, I remember what I do for a living. I actually dove in yesterday, made yesterday that school like a day before school where I got ready, all my prep in. Obviously some crazy things over the holiday. Really, really enjoyed my time off. My alone time, my time with you and your family was, epic. Keep your Christmas tradition, which is now 2 years old, gets better and better. So lots to be grateful and thankful for, but nothing better than revving the engines again.
Yeah, excellent to be back. But yeah, I mean the break was much needed. The holiday was fantastic. It was great because I don't feel like I lost touch with people so much. Like, we kept in contact. Like, I know Chris and I were going back and forth about the pig that we did. For those of you who didn't see, we roasted a 42-pound pig on Christmas Eve. That was on Christmas Eve. That was phenomenal, and took 7 hours. A lot of work, but led to a fantastic dinner and just awesome stuff.
So, there's categories of things that happen over 2 weeks that we got to recap. We lost some great people, John Madden.
Legends.
Just when you talk about impact, what your impact has on life, he impacted not only coaching, he impacted television, he impacted video games. He's just an amazing, amazing human being. So, rest in peace, Coach Madden. And then, is there anybody on the planet that didn't like
Betty White? I mean, like, Gabby was so upset when she had heard about Betty White. She was a big Golden Girls fan. But yeah, I mean, Betty White was so classic. Like, just everything that she did and still relevant to today. And, she was one of those women who helped push female comedians to the forefront and did so much for them. So just two absolute legends that passed. But as the Sandlot would tell you, legends never die because their memories will be carried on forever, and the impact of the people they affected and the way they affected their industries will live on forever.
Yeah, I mean, she was going to be 100 years old. She looked amazing. She had an amazing attitude. What a perspective. They made a movie.
Social media content was great. She's almost 100. She did, it was great stuff.
She was in commercials, Snickers commercials. So amazing impact, again, impacting women in broadcast. Pretty amazing. They made a movie that her birthday would have been, she would have been 100 on January 17th. They made a movie, and boom, they're going to broadcast it in theaters. It'll be in theaters for the day. January 17th. So some pretty cool stuff.
Jonathan Aarons has a great comment. He goes, my uncle, who most likely does not have a soul, did not like Betty White. Not sure how I'm related to that man.
I agree. There is one person that doesn't like Betty White.
I love it.
Great to see all these names and faces. Casey Sherwin and your beautiful lady. I guess you're celebrating Georgia. We got to talk sports. The two teams that were supposed to be there are there, correct?
There's no doubt. And huge congratulations to Cincinnati, but similar to the Dolphins yesterday, right? When you get to the big show, you find out who you really are. And look, Cincinnati's just not that caliber of a football team yet. Very good football team. They did some incredible stuff, became the first team to make the playoff. And then, Michigan, I thought Michigan was a letdown. I thought they were a better football team than what they showed. Kudos to Georgia. They did some fantastic things going with a new quarterback, changing things up. But I thought Michigan was a letdown. And I think that speaks volumes to who they are as a team.
Leadership. Yeah, I agree. So Laura Sherwin, I actually think that the Dogs are the best. Joni White, I think they are the best team in the country. That's
I can't wait for next Monday.
I can't wait. That should be great.
Things remain the same. Dolphins can't win the big one. Notre Dame again can't
win.
Wait. They totally stay the same. Show me the picture of the Jet game yesterday. Come on.
Yeah, there it is.
Like, seriously? Like,
the Jets continue to not be able to get away from Tom Brady.
It's unbelievable. A minute and a half left. You're 4th and 2. Do something. Get a first down and win a game, man.
And definitely not the thing that everybody's talking about today, though, from that game. The number one thing people are talking about from that game is Antonio Brown having an absolute mental meltdown on the sideline, taking off his gear, running off the sideline, catching an Uber to the airport or to wherever he was going in New York. And that was the way he left his career in Tampa. So
the rumor is he asked state troopers for a ride.
Unreal.
So here's what I know. No matter what the story is, you never quit on your team. Ever, ever, ever under any circumstances. So with all the good examples, there's always a bad example. For what's going on with that human being, I think he needs help. I mean, you see enough of this behavior. So good morning from Ohio, Alexandra. Boom.
So do we believe that that's like new though? Like Mike Tomlin managed this guy for 9 years. And so like maybe the most extraordinary thing to ever happen in football is that Mike Tomlin was able to communicate with this guy and get the most out of him for 9 years for a really successful career, because it's been an absolute circus since then. So I'd love to hear how Mike Tomlin was able to do that and really create success with him while he was there for almost a decade.
Everywhere he's been some craziness. All right, so we're pretty caught up. Let's get back in the routine. For those of you who are missing this music, I know I did not wake up at 3 o'clock every day. I got up whenever the hell I wanted to get up. But let's wake up.
Wake up, everybody! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wake up! Come on! Come on! Wake up, everybody! Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! No more sleeping in bed. No more back to thinking, time to thinking ahead. Come on now.
So with a new year, I mean, there must have been 80 million people who posted, these are the 10 things you have to do, or the 10 things you have to do, or what did you do? I mean, I have my rituals. I have my questions I ask at the end of the year. We'll go through a lot of that stuff today, but I got something shared with me by our friend Louis Oliver that I thought was the top thing that got sent to me. And so I want to share it with everybody. Welcome to the flight 2022. We are prepared to take off into the new year. Please make sure your attitude and blessings are secured and locked in an upright and secure position. All self-destructive devices should be turned off at this time. All negativity, hurt, and discouragement should be put away. Should we lose altitude under pressure during the flight, reach up and pull down a prayer. Prayer will automatically be activated by faith. Once your faith is activated, you can assist other passengers. There will be no baggage allowed on this flight. The captain has cleared us for takeoff. Destination greatness. Repost and share it. I don't know, man. My man Louis is
very creative.
Very
that was fantastic.
For those who don't remember, Louis, he had a great career as a Dolphin. He's an amazing entrepreneur, and he's one of the few people on the planet I allow to call me Stevie. Because Stevie, like, and when he does, he's just too big to say anything to. So I thought that was cool. Yeah. There are all kinds of things that people are focusing on. We'll talk a little bit about the word again. I have a word. Mark, I don't know if you picked your word. I think you did. We shared it. But I got a bunch of people over the holidays reached out to me and said, I'm kind of stuck. Can you help me through it? So I want to share a little bit of that exercise. But before we do that, if you've not listened to Ed Milet, Ed is a powerhouse speaker. And he put this out, and I thought it was amazing.
No one's going to do anything for you. Couple rules of being a real leader. You need to take responsibility for your own life. Bringing energy to your team. Leading in recruiting. Leading in leadership. Leading in growth. Nobody owes you anything, but you owe other people everything. That's what a leader does. You take responsibility. You know exactly right now what you're not doing. It would be criminal of you to leave here and say, I don't know what to do. You know exactly what you're afraid of. You know exactly what you've been avoiding. And you got to make a decision to change it. You know exactly what it is. Don't BS anybody. You know what you need to do different. You know the changes you need to make. And if you can do that, you stop kidding yourself, you can win. You can overcome your fear, overcome procrastination, whatever that is.
So this is kind of in line with what I talked about this morning. Like, the start of a new year is so exciting, right? Like, vision for what you want to do. You got all these plans and these goals and everything. But I think people skip a major step when starting a new year, is that true evaluation of what you did to figure out what the major gaps were, to fix those things in order to be able to move forward. And I relate that to football, right? When we started a new season, we didn't do any planning until we watched every play of the previous year to figure out what were our biggest problems and why were they our biggest problems. Could they be fixed? Are there things that we should be working on that we need to try to get better at in order to take ourselves to the next step in the next year? Or were they personnel issues that are no longer going to come up? So you have to know why you didn't do the things you needed to do the year previously in order to really build the plan to move forward. And I think that's exactly what he's talking about.
I loved your post. I actually shared the post this morning because I thought it was worthy of that. But the phrase that stands out for me is, you know exactly what you're not doing.
Right.
You all do. Like there is, like for me, I have, new behavior that I'm investing in January, which I do every year, that gets me the outcome I want. I knew exactly what I was doing in December. I know exactly what I need to do now. I think it's the same thing in business. When people are failing, it's not that they don't know how, because that's a complete disaster. Boom, knowing you can find the resources, knowing you can do all of that. So I thought that was a major takeaway there.
Well, he talks about avoiding and why you're avoiding and what you're avoiding, which I think is so important to understand, because if you don't know why you're avoiding something, and I think normally we're just pushing it away so we don't have to think about it, but there's really only two reasons that you're avoiding it, is you're afraid of it or you truly don't know how to do it. Right. And the fear may be coming from the fact that you don't know how to do it. So being proactive about asking what I need to know, going out and finding the information, or figuring out why you're avoiding that thing in order to be able to attack it. Because otherwise you just leave it out there and like, I'll get to it. But you're never really going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so powerful. There's so much good information around there. But I want to jump to motivational music. We got 3 topics, if we can squeeze them in. If not, there's, it's a long week. There's going to be plenty of stuff. But this motivational music is amazing.
So good.
Frankie Beverly and Maze. Love that. I love that. Okay, so let's jump right into some really serious content. Word of the year. If you have not done it in your life, now's a good time to do it. It's a way to focus and phrase. But I had Kelly Martin, a client and a friend, reach out. And she says, I'm stuck. I told her I was going to tell this story. And I said, well, what's up? And she goes, well, I sort of had a word, but last year it sort of got away from me and I didn't really follow through on it. And she said, do you have any suggestions? And that's all I ever have is suggestions. I don't tell people what to do. You should do this, which is a crock of shit. You should do whatever the hell you want to do. So here's what my recommendation, my suggestion is to physicalize it. So last year, my word was blackjack. Show me what I did to blackjack on January 2nd. There it goes, 2021. Blackjack is over. It's time to get it on with 2022.
I love it.
So I carried those cards with me all year long because it manifests. It's physical part of me all year long. And then I burn it because it's done. Whatever I did last year, it's done. You know, my dad, my dad said something, but I'm going to go with Les Brown. Les Brown says, used to be's don't make no honey. So I used to be great last year. Okay, got to do it again this year. So when you decide to pick a word, which I did, you physicalize it. So I now have a card with, if you can see that, just another day in paradise. And the picture, which I spent a lot of time finding, is actually a bridge to paradise. You don't get paradise by just wishing for it. That's bullshit. Okay, what it is, you got to cross the bridge. Everything's a bridge. Everything's a test. Everything you do gets you closer to what you want. And I keep it near and dear in my money clip all year long. So that's my advice.
So mine, I'm not physicalizing it with a card, but my word is addition. I'm actually living the symbol and not the word. So that plus sign is the thing that I'm carrying with me every day. But I'm actually just writing it on every single piece of paper, every single note, everything that I do. I get up in the morning, my journal, it's a plus. I'm starting with that. And that word addition fits into a lot of different segments of my life and a lot of different, things that are happening for me. But that's the reminder for me, is that as I'm writing that plus sign, is everything I'm doing today going to add a little bit to whatever it is that I'm working on? Is it going to make me a better husband? Is it going to make me a better father? Is it going to make me a better business partner? Is it going to, addition, we're adding to our family. We've added a new room to our house where we've created this office. We've got a new office. So that addition, is it really adding to what we're doing and making us better and truly living that 1%? So that's my word for the year, is addition.
Love it.
And I'm physicalizing it by writing it every day.
Writing it. That's all it needs to be, is physicalizing the word actually makes a difference. So shifting gears to another behavior, and show me FM Alexander, please. Mark, can you read that?
People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures.
Oh, drop the mic. I mean, look at any successful person, and they have developed winning habits. I hate to say it, but we keep going back to Tom Brady. He has winning habits, man. The guy is a winner. The guy continues to win in everything he does because he has the habits to back it up. He works his ass off. He eats right. All of those decisions, mind, body, spirit, are habits, daily habits that get you to, that idea. So
it brings you the outcomes, right? And so we go back to this over and over and over, but it's the only thing that you can control is what you actually do. And if you start focusing on the doing instead of the results come naturally. And you get rid of anxiety, you get rid of all of the negativity, because you just start feeding yourself the behavior and the doing. And the more you focus on doing it, the easier it becomes to continue to do it, which creates the rhythm, which creates the routine. So it all stems back to, what are you actually doing?
So that is the point of all of these resolutions and all of this New Year's crap that 2 weeks from now people are, listen, go to a gym this morning, it's probably slammed. Everybody, I'm the new me, I'm getting back to me. And 2 weeks later, somebody posted something that was hilarious that said, I want to open up a bar called Resolutions. And 2 weeks later, it'll turn, a gym. They want to open a gym called Resolutions. And in 2 weeks, it'll turn into a wine bar. So the whole idea, so I'm going to give you my hack that has worked for me forever, and it changes people's lives. And it's something called the 30-day challenge. Scientifically proved that somewhere between 21 and 66 days is how a habit is formed. For me, it's a 30-day challenge. Anybody can do anything for 30 days. So whatever it is you commit to do, start small. Don't rip off the Band-Aid and run the marathon. Just say, I'm going to, like for me, I don't drink in January. I put it out there every year. It's dry January. Is it difficult? You bet your ass it is, man. I got a lot of crap going on. I'm going to be traveling a lot. I'm going to be in drinking situations, but it's a discipline. What are you laughing at?
Well, just the conversation that you and I had about, like, should I do this thing? You just because you decide to discipline yourself to doing something doesn't mean that you have to say no to certain opportunities. You just have to make the decisions before you're there. If you choose to not drink in January, doesn't mean you can't go to networking events, doesn't mean you can't do the events that you want to do. You just got to make the decision that when you get there, you're going to order the club soda and the water instead of ordering the vodka and whatever it is. So, like, I think, and I used to preach this to my players all the time on a Saturday night, make the decision now. Like, you better believe that Georgia and Alabama wanted to celebrate the hell out of those victories, but the conversation in the locker room is don't get to the after party without having the decision made on the way you're going to act there. Because if you make the decision now, you allow yourself to, when you get there, to just fall back on the thing that you already did, as opposed to being in the environment and going, oh man, there's this, there's that. There's a lot of different ways I could go here. And you feel all of that, that pressure to make a decision to do something else than what you really wanted to do.
So for me, and we talked about this before we got on live, for me, I love being able to focus on the behavior because I know what I want the outcome to be. The outcome is going to be there if I do the right behavior. So 7-day detox, which I'm going through right now, taking all the herbs and spices, 30-day no drinking. I know I'm going to be in the best shape ever because I added weight from weight training and stuff. So it's just going to be lean muscle instead of fat muscle. So for anybody that wants this information on 30-day challenges, I've done them forever. When I first got on stage in front of Bank United, I shared with everybody, pick one simple thing. This was 8 years ago. I said, pick one thing. I don't care what it is. It's kiss your wife goodnight. It's read your kid a story. It's give up soda. Do something for 30 days and watch how it changes your life. Now, little did I know that after 30 days, the responses I got from people were like, dude, I gave up soda. I'm wearing new clothes. My wife thinks I'm good looking again. I mean, some crazy stuff. Oh my God, I kissed my wife. I'm in a much more engaged relationship. It's focusing on the behavior. So there are two basic types of 30-day challenges. Ones that introduce and strengthen new habits over the month, and ones that offer something unique to try every day. So I have a list of 30 things that you can do. I don't do that. I pick two major things that I do, and here's the benefits. It provides the boost you need to get started to make change. Once started, the daily repetition boosts momentum to implement the desired change consistently. And as you keep going, achieving small successes motivates you to keep going onto other things. So, I mean, I got documents on top of documents I was digging in. There's if somebody wanted a 30-day, I got goals. I got all kinds of shit. I got questions. I got more content. Let's go for a couple hours, man.
I love it. Tons of content today. I think maybe we'll take the smarter goal concept and we'll talk about that a little bit more. We'll continue the conversation about how to set yourself up for success in 2022. But welcome back, gentlemen.
Welcome back. Welcome back. For those who are not part of Friday's event, it is absolutely robust way to kick off the year. If you are a client, you're already in. If you have bought anything through Get on the Ball training, which Dave Stavali, thank you, you did, you're in. That's the only way into the event on Friday. It's 2 hours of pure gold. We have rewritten a bunch of stuff. We're excited to do it to you. So if you're not in and you want to get in, call us and figure out how to do that. But it's great to be back. I'm super fired up. I got great coaching calls all day long. Welcome back to everybody. Welcome back to the world. Go out and get it. But the day would not be complete unless we get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this.